You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. As long as you're ready. Hello. Oh, man, you messed me up.
Sorry.
Thought you were ready.
All right, I'm really ready.
Hello, and welcome to Double Issue. My name is Quentin, and with me today is...
Me, Daniel.
And this is a show where we create a superhero universe together through short stories and world building, brainstorming type stuff. This is part 3 of Villains.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to the first 2 parts, go listen to those. If you haven't listened to any episodes, go listen to part 1 and 2 of Villains. We're kind of doing a recap as we go.
Yeah, we thought this would go a lot faster, but it's taken a little longer to get through everybody.
We got a lot of characters.
Yeah, we do.
And we got quite a few more to get through now. Aqualion, previously Aqualion, was a member of the League of Elemental Animals. They, at the time of this story, were currently on the, what did I call it? The Tribunal?
Yeah.
The Tribunal, which takes care of, adjudicates superhero crimes. So it's kind of made up of retired superheroes. And Aqualion is one of them. They have water powers, lion powers. We never really fully fleshed it out yet. He's been kind of in the background side stories so far.
Yeah.
The Fire Tiger is one of his enemies, but we can make another one now.
What about...
Shrimp Heart.
It's good.
Dude.
Does he have the heart of a shrimp? I guess I was going towards another fire-based villain. So it's going to be like Demon Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Freeze Ray? Hey, my name's Ray, and I like to freeze.
Ray Freeze. That's pretty good. An ice-based power versus a water power would be pretty good.
Yeah.
What about Freeze On?
Ooh. What about, Dr. Freeze?
Dr. Ray Freeze.
Then it doesn't need to be a doctor. Or it doesn't need to be this character. It's also a thing. I don't think that one's very good.
Ice Rectangle.
Oh.
Yeah, instead of cube.
I didn't even put that together. I just like the idea of a shape-based villain. I'm good with Ice Rectangle.
Oh.
Because it makes me think of alien species from another, complete different dimension. All their things are shapes. It's a 2D shape. Only at the right angles can you view it. Perhaps they're actually a 4-dimensional being.
Yeah.
But they're only dissecting the 3 dimensions. I guess trisecting. Our universe, all we can see of them is a rectangle.
I just imagine that those comics would all look like Doctor Who villains, where they're just doing some really weird CGI that's not quite right.
Yeah.
But just going with it.
Maybe it's just it's one of those villains that you can't understand kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's just a menace that, a large rectangle is just approaching the city.
It's kind of a color of space situation.
Yeah, it's just like a light blue rectangle in the air. Just approaching. It's actually just a 4th dimensional being passing through.
They're sucking the potential energy out of things, making everything entropy.
Yeah. Maybe not ice rectangle, just ice.
Oh, just ice? Ice?
Not just ice. I was going to say ice shape, but that sounded dumb. But what about isosceles triangle?
Oh. Seems good.
They could have different names based on what shape they are.
Isosceles.
I don't know. I think we need a good name to wrap them all together.
The entropy.
Ooh, ice wall doesn't really work. The Eater of Worlds. Have a nice day. Ice shape. Ice rectangle's fine.
Bryce.
Brr, ice.
Brr. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next character then is Magic.
Magic. They're a mysterious character.
Yep.
that before then they were a previous member on Aegis. They were on the tribunal. They're mysteriously young. Is that what it was? They've been around a while, but they're young, but they're not immortal.
Something like that.
They're younger than they should be.
And Spell Squadrons made fun of them for not knowing that much magic.
Yeah, even though they're called magic.
And I had them perform a little bit of magic in my half of the episode.
Yeah. We discussed at some point in one of the, I don't know if it was a Worldbuild part or a part we cut out, just a conversation of having him age backwards or something.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember if that stuck, but that's always an interesting thing. Like, it doesn't have to be Magic's thing, but I do always like that concept.
Benjamin Buttoning.
Yeah. Like, there's a bunch of, I don't know if they're technically YA, but I'm sure they would be YA now, that's a genre. But I don't think they were YA when I was reading them. But just different books about Merlin I read as a teenager. They discussed how he ages backwards and doesn't age and all different conflicting information. So if there's that sort of mystique with magic, that's fine.
What if their antagonist was equally as mysterious? And it's just something like The Question or...
What about science? Or technology.
It's pretty good. And people would be like, well, what's their power? Science and technology. But like, what do they do? Magic? Analyze.
We could have STEM.
Oh.
Science, technology, engineering, and of course, the last M, magic.
Well, you gotta incorporate arts now for STEAM.
Oh.
Science, technology, electronics, arts.
Electronic
magic.
arts. Magic. Is this an answer? Magic used to be mathematics.
Oh.
And they know mathemagic.
That's pretty good. They're a math magician.
Yeah. They just got so good at math and proofs and everything that they took a derivative on an impossible problem, and now they've unlocked the secrets of the universe.
So is science, like, jealous?
I feel like if that's the idea we're going with, they became jealous maybe, but I think the main thing is they felt magic turned his back on the true truths of the world.
Okay.
And maybe since magic is still occupying the M in STEM, they can't have a new math person until magic is gone.
That's pretty good. So it's like a whole superhero team.
The STEAM cabal.
Yeah.
I also wonder what were they doing before? Were they just the best? Who do these people represent? The best at the science?
Were they just like a think tank? Like a metahuman think tank, or...
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Were they even metahuman before magic developed magic powers?
Oh.
Because I guess maybe I should... STEM is acronym for what's pushed.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a shorthand in education for the different fields that they try to push you towards for jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I keep forgetting what the E stood for. It's engineering.
That's why I kind of feel like the A shouldn't be there if they're a very hoity-toity about.
Oh, here. I forgot to tell you. So I had this idea that there's art, but art in the STEM grouping is already kind of new. So maybe they're just kind of like have to bring them along. So they're doing their science, technology, and engineering things, and then art is just there. And they're all just, yes, thank you, art. It's like the little brother that keeps tagging along.
Maybe it wasn't an official thing at first, I guess.
Yeah.
Like they were maybe not the top of their field, but in the tops of their fields.
What if they were all working together to crack the secret of magic, and they didn't realize that's what they were working towards?
Okay.
And they crack it, but magic realizes that if they keep working towards it the way they're going, they're just going to use it for like commercial purposes or war or things like that. So magic abandons them, but they learn enough that they're like, well, we need to know the rest of the secrets you have.
Okay. I imagine they're building. They don't have the magic. Magic's got all the magic, but they want it.
Maybe they still have, whatever's the biggest thing in their field.
Yeah, I imagine they're making mechs or whatever.
Yeah.
Engineering guys making mechs for them, science guy. Well, technology and engineering kind of go hand in hand. And science guy gives them poisons and acids or something. I don't know. They all work together to make mechs or something.
Yeah.
Maybe mechs they make weapons, they make armors, they make concoctions.
So maybe a group sort of like Hive almost.
Yeah, maybe that's better.
Or is Hive the right one? The one where they always wear yellow jumpsuits.
Yeah, but they're less like 4 people and more an organization then.
Oh no, Hive is the DC group and a kid's book.
So Magic was one of the top mathematics guys and figured out the secrets of the universe and can now do math magic.
Yeah. But like with real math, whenever he tries to explain that to people, their eyes kind of gloss over. Like, it's just math.
Okay.
All right. So the next character is Moonglow. And Moonglow, did we decide, has minor powers from like a god on the moon?
I'm not exactly sure. But their power waxes and wanes with the moon.
Yeah.
Sunshade.
The parasol. A werewolf.
I mean, there is like Sunspot.
Yeah. Sundog.
What about like Helios and the Sundog demons?
Oh, just Sundogs.
It doesn't have to be Helios. Some named person is controlling the Sundogs.
I'm just going to put a werewolf.
Helios is Greek god of the sun. Why Helios and Matheson analytics stocks plunged 60% more today? Whew.
Wait, what's that?
I don't know. Some stock thing went down.
Oh,
see.
That's why I was confused.
Here's Helios riding with the chariot of Pegasi. But if we say like all these engravings are wrong, it was actually dogs. It was a dog sled.
How about Immortal Reggie?
Oh yeah, wait. And then you just said a werewolf?
Yeah, I just did a werewolf.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like her powers are super strong, and so are the werewolves, and they just fight for whatever reason.
Yeah, probably like King of the Werewolves or something.
Ooh, Werewolf King.
Okay. Should we do Immortal Reggie? We haven't covered a whole lot of Immortal Reggie stuff.
I forgot to write about him, and so I sucked him out of an airlock. So I don't know anything about Immortal Reggie besides that. I had some ideas, but I haven't done anything with it.
The only thing I've mentioned about Immortal Reggie is that they're immortal. And also that something happened at some point which made them hated by everyone. And I don't think we've even said what that is. Did he go bad or did he do something terrible? Like, it turns out he's a pedophile and has been for 1,000,000 years.
Oh.
I mean,
well, is everyone technically too young for him?
Well, there's a difference between too young for him and too young for everyone. But anyways, sort of an Edward Cullen type of situation.
Immortal Reggie just going back to high school. Hello, fellow kids.
So the thing I don't get about that, like people talk about how it's gross that Edward Cullen is 100 years old or whatever, he's dating a teenager. I don't get from the other perspective, like, and they point out like that's gross or skeevy or whatever. How is he interested in anything a teenager has to say?
That's the real question here.
How is he just, oh wow, I'm real interested in what you got going on. Oh, it's a lot of like feelings and stuff and high school. That's interesting.
Like, I could see every couple 100 years vampire being like, if they could get away with it, I think I'll just go back to high school. Just take it easy, be like a little mini vacay. But no, that doesn't make sense. I'm more confused. So in that movie, Edward has a family of vampires that he lives with, but they're all like 100 or whatever years old. Is it weird to live with your parents for that long in the exact same role for like 100 years? Are
they even like parents of the person? They're like a clan or whatever.
I don't even know how it works out. It has that model.
Yeah, they just like play father and son and mother and whatever.
But it feels not good.
They're just all hanging out.
Yeah.
Okay. So pass on Immortal Reggie.
I have an idea.
Oh, okay.
What about just a big vulture man?
Mortal Reggie.
Like, trying to take Immortal Reggie's soul. Yeah.
Your soul is mine. Okay.
That's all I got for that was a big vulture man.
What's her name? Vulturus. Vultruvius.
Voltrooper. Yeah, Volturus.
I don't know. I still have like Greek and Roman names stuck in my head from Assassin's Creed Origins.
The origins of our creed. I just like the idea of somebody tracking him across time, trying to take his soul.
Okay, cool.
Did you want to do cup hands?
Yeah, let's do cup hands.
Okay.
What about a big dragon?
It's good.
No.
What about like a toy master character?
Go on.
So he makes all these little toy minions to fight, and Cup Hands keeps breaking them all.
Yeah.
It just really upsets him. So even after he becomes sort of a villain, the toy master guy's still like, "Nah, I'm getting my revenge."
Getting his revenge by having toys for him to break?
It's not a good system.
The Toy Master. Oh, what about like Toy Master General?
Oh, there we go.
Or did we want to do Michonne from when they were good?
All right.
Because keep wanting to say, remember that time when Michonne was good?
Oh, did we talk about Cup Hands?
Oh yeah, we didn't really say what Cup Hands was. Cup Hands is a autobiographical character. Cup Hands has cups for hands, and anything he touches with those cups does break.
And that's because at a party once, Quentin was wearing cups on his hands, and he broke a bunch of things.
Yeah, what of it?
No, it's good.
But Cup Hands was a hero, is presently a villain. In that story at that time, he was being put on trial for murdering a bunch of criminals.
But now he runs the city of Midas.
Yeah, or the city-state.
But then there's Michonne. Michonne broke Cup Hands out of the tribunal.
Yeah.
And he's a Centauri like Aster, so he can fly around. And he's just strong and skilled.
Yeah. So do you think they went... You mentioned at some point they were kind of posing as good before they came out as a bad guy.
Yeah. So kind of what I've been just theorizing on is they land in France and they pose as a good guy alien and try to do some helpful things there. But I think in time it kind of comes out that they're not great, or they do some things that aren't great.
So we need a French villain that rises up to fight Michonne.
Yeah. But I was trying to think of French villains.
And all the French are too nice.
Don't hate me, French people. I'm sorry. That just reminds me of a story that I once visited England for a vacation. And
Oi,
there was,
governor.
Oi, top of the morning. Wait, that's wrong.
Blimey.
We were in London for St. Patrick's Day. Believe it or not a big holiday in Britain. But I just remember there was this group of school children from France, and they kept cutting us in line for things and being super rude. And it was just funny because that was just like we made the joke like, oh, I bet French people are super rude. And that was like the first French people we met. It was just, okay, we were joking. Bratty little kids. What if he fights
Madeline?
Yeah,
the
that'd be good.
schoolgirl?
Little Catholic schoolgirl. What about a literal unicorn? Just an evil unicorn.
Okay.
It just terrorize.
Do they talk
cities.
or is it just...
It's almost better if they don't.
Do they have like the rainbow trail behind them?
Got to.
Do they fly?
That'd be really good.
They don't fly so much as like they can gallop on air if they choose to.
Yeah. I mean, they pick up speed and they shimmer rainbows and they kind of prance through the air. But they're just really buff and use their horn to throw cars and impale people.
Okay. They have a name?
Oh, man, I was trying to think.
Let's just... French for unicorn.
Unicorn name...
Licorn.
Generator.
Licron. Licron. I cannot say this French word.
Sable.
Can I have an actual person saying it, not a robot, please? I think it's close to Licron. Licorne terrible. The terrible unicorn. The terrible licorne. No, wouldn't they do it opposite? Licorne terrible.
Yeah, but I think it'd be like less terrible.
I'm reminded of Les Enfants Terribles from Metal Gear Solid lore. That's what I'm mimicking. Which is the terrible unicorn.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if Google translates it straight. Because I feel like it would be like Licorne les terrible.
I don't know.
Kate knows French. I can ask her about it. But you see the scene where Michonne's kind of eating up being the hero and getting to be in the spotlight, and all these French people run up to him like, "You've got to help us! The terrible unicorn's back!" And he just like, "Oh, I'll slay this beast." And it's just this really pretty horse with a horn. It's like, I can't fight that, and then just stabs him. So then every episode after that is them just duking it out, really awful.
Okay.
All right.
Who do we have? Tremor.
So Tremor is
AKA
Quake's...
Rockula, AKA Quake Jr., AKA Little Quake, AKA the San Andreas Fault Line.
What?
AKA your building's falling down. Okay. Explain.
So
Go ahead.
Tremor is Quake's sidekick.
AKA.
And she has the same power set, just younger.
Yeah.
But also disguises herself as the villain Rockula.
And Quake is doctorate professor.
Yeah.
And Tremor
is her
like
PhD student.
Yeah. TA, teaching assistant type role, research assistant.
And I see them as being sort of bookish and quiet, but whenever they get into their costume, they kind of, I don't know, take on a different persona, as so to speak.
Yeah. Did you have a character in mind?
I was trying to think of something.
What about Jello, like a gel cube type monster?
Be cool.
That they awakened in one of the tombs, like the D&D type monster of gelatinous cube. It's just the ooze. Oh, my Quake powers aren't really working on it.
It jiggles, but it doesn't fall apart. So, is it Ivan Ooze is who she fights?
Yeah.
An old slime wizard?
Yeah. PR team. Oh, it could be like Robin Williams Flubber.
Oh.
We can come up with another one, but she definitely fought an ooze, an ancient ooze.
Yeah.
Ancient evil ooze. This had some ancient death curse on it. Any who would be swallowed by this ooze will be judged, and if they're found wanting, will be disintegrated. It's like some divine judgment ooze.
I like it.
But all of that is coming from different texts they find supporting that. The ooze doesn't really say any of this. The ooze is just a force.
Okay.
Did you have another one in mind?
Did you say another one?
AKA Super Volcano from 1996.
What about Rock Slides?
Okay.
Or maybe Brock Slides?
Okay.
And he has
slides on his
also
feet.
Earth powers.
Okay. Doesn't matter. Slides on his feet. If you put slides on your feet, you're always sliding.
I think we're starting to get sleepy. Yeah, I think
that's Rock Slides.
The guy that has rock sliding powers.
Oh, okay.
I think he's extreme, so he's like snowboarding down rock slides.
So he's got shoes made of slides.
Yeah, rock slides.
But he like snowboards on rocks.
Yeah, and just like accidentally destroys towns and things in their path.
This gravel's real nice.
And so she always has to stop him from being too extreme.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
This is some real fresh powder. Rock powder.
Dust. And that brings us to episode 9?
Yeah. Birthdays. The only character I introduced then was Hazel 8, the school teacher for the Citadel Hero Academy.
Yeah.
Or a school teacher.
And I introduced a trickster god.
Mittens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is, by the way, if you aren't caught up, if this is your second episode you're listening to, go listen to that one. That one has characters you should know about by now. And
it's a fun episode.
Yeah. Gets a little weird near the end, but it's a good one that you can listen to now that you just know all this. If you want a different one to listen to after this. But I don't know much about Hazel.
I think I finally firmed up her powers a little bit, and she has kinetic control. So if someone throws a punch at her, she can absorb the punch and throw it back at them. But I think the 8 is that she can multiply it by 8 times the force. So she's not that strong on her own, but if she's fighting someone bigger, she can send it back at him.
Okay.
And I think that's her whole thing, is she's so calm and collected and centered that she has these really awesome monk powers.
Okay.
I was going to say the perfect enemy that I could think of was someone who is just super loony and childlike and manic, and someone like Freakazoid or Joker or someone like that. What were you thinking?
Hazel 7.
Her inferior clone.
Yeah, but that is trying to convince them that they're the 8th clone and that there's 7 before. like 6 before the seventh person. And they're the 8th one.
What about Lassal? It's just Hazel backward. I mean, I do like Hazel 7. That's pretty good.
It could just be Hazel 6973. And it's your concept and my concept. I'm from the future.
Whoa. Android Hazel.
It's just Hazel number, and whatever number is just a different villain for them. Are they all clones or somehow copies of Hazel 8?
I mean, clones are pretty good.
Just skewed somehow? Like they don't all have that same power.
What if instead of being clones directly, it's more like... This is going to sound stupid because I was going to be like... biological androids? So they're still being built.
I think it's a combination of different things.
Yeah.
I think there is...
But each one has a different power set.
Yeah. If it's a clone, it's not a complete clone. They've messed with it some.
Yeah.
But I think it's a combination of clones and robots and whatever. There's some mastermind behind all the different Hazel number.
Yeah.
That is creating these different Hazels for some reason to take down Hazel 8. So some of them have different purposes.
They had an original.
Yeah, maybe there is an original. They're basing it off of not Hazel 8.
Yeah.
Maybe Hazel 8 is a clone that doesn't remember. There's one that is a chaotic whatever one.
What about the buffoon?
Is that the one you were talking about?
Yeah. And that could be a Hazel clone too.
But instead of the...
TWO.
Wait, what?
TWO.
Oh.
It's a Hazel clone too.
Well, I was thinking, I don't know how to write this out. Buffoon, but instead of the 2 O's, it's an infinity symbol. And that also reflects what they are in relation to Hazel 8. Hazel 8 turned on its side.
What?
The 8 is turned on its side. So it's Hazel Infinity, goes by Buffoon, but it's completely perpendicular to Hazel 8 in ideology.
So I don't think they should be the same thing as like a Joker character where they're, crazy or insane. I think it's more like Drunk Foo, where they have just really practiced practical jokes and stand-up comedy and puns to throw their enemies off.
So do you think it's pronounced Buffinitine? Never mind. I got a character I need to write a story about. Buffinitine.
They're Buffinitine. How buff are they? Buffinitine.
And it's also a teen hero. Buffinitine.
Yeah, they've got to fight Aster Thorn and Havoc.
Buffinitine. Okay. Well.
That's real gross. I like it.
Episode 9 was League of Elemental Animals. All those characters may or may not be real.
So I had an idea for the League of Elemental Animals. Some form of zookeepers. Maybe extraterrestrial zookeepers that try to hunt them down and take them to their alien zoo.
I like it.
Maybe the zoo masters?
We already have a hunter thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna suggest they could just be hunters. Hunting the most dangerous game. Not man, but Meta Man. But that was the exact line for
Baron Von Kill, I think.
Yeah. So Zookeeper seems good.
Okay.
Is it like an organization or a rogue zookeeper?
I think it's gotta be like an organization.
Okay.
Like they just need new exhibits and they just happen to find a lot of promising suspects on Earth.
Is it sort of a like one of each species and they're counting each of these as a new hybrid species of each animal that they may already have? Like
maybe they think they're all the same species, but just like since they're so different.
Yeah. Like we already have a porcupine in our zoo, but we don't have lightning porcupine.
Yeah. I like the idea that maybe there's a couple of zookeepers that are regular, like maybe 5 or 6, but then the rest are minions that are all unpaid biology students needing intern hours. So a lot of the minions are like, oh, I don't want to fight.
I mean, they could be paid minimum wage.
Oh, yeah. Minimum space wage.
Yeah, space bucks.
They get zoo dollars to be spent at the company store.
Yeah, which is called scrim. I think maybe I always... there's a word that I always never know what it is. Scrip.
Oh.
It's like company bucks. Company scrip is scrip, a substitute for government-issued legal tender or currency issued by a company to pay its employees. It can only be exchanged in company stores owned by the employers. So I was right. It's scrip. But I always think it's scrim.
Yeah. Skyrim.
What?
Skyrim.
No.
Oh, okay.
But it could be Zeus script.
So I think there could be a whole arc where all the elemental animals get taken to Space Zoo and they have to break out. Or maybe they like it.
The current team gets kidnapped and goes there. And they found out that one missing team member from long ago has just been here the whole time. Yeah.
It's like I just had something like lightning sloth or something.
I just did lightning porcupine.
I know. I was trying to come up with something like air sloth, wind sloth,
thunder sloth,
ember sloth. Anyway, he was just really slow, and then he was like, this is fine. Just gonna hang out. So he moves at sloth speed.
Yeah, that seems good for the overall.
Yeah. So how about Mist?
We are now on from our Spell Squadron exclusive episode. We already covered Spell Squadron, but in this one we did a previous iteration of Spell Squadron.
Yeah.
And some of the characters that used to be on the team but are not now. Well, one of them is Miss Mist, which we determined she doesn't have any like fighting powers so much. I think maybe she could turn things to ice or something. Or did we determine against that?
She could like condensate.
But a big part of her powers are like team based, where she can kind of spread out and give them cover and give the enemies less visibility. But also she can send whispers between the teammates and is kind of a communication device. And also, their base is located somewhere in some dimension of her making, or a dimension she taps into at least. And if you are inside of Miss Mist, you can be teleported there.
Yeah. So maybe a villain for her is somebody less directly villainous, like not like a world destroyer villain, but more like
a fan.
Yeah. Oh, a literal fan. I was going to say something like somebody that's trying to like take her powers, or
it could be like a demon, some sort of demonic pact.
Maybe that's how she got her powers.
Yeah.
And they're like calling in the favor.
Yeah, that could be.
Demon Hunter Fantasy Name Generator.
Histherphon.
Orzud. Morkas?
I'm going to take the first letter of every book on my bookshelf. Got it.
Schwit. Dak.
It sounds like a demon name.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
If I ever heard one. Yeah, but I guess let's go on the other side. Was it? I could see a couple possibilities. Demon pact, or perhaps summoning a demon and kind of enslaving it.
Okay.
Using their powers, but keeping the demon subdued. So kind of like binding a demon to your soul and then keeping it, like, as long as you keep it locked down, you're good. But actually in a physical way.
Yeah.
Just I have a demon in the basement I got to keep locked in there.
I was going to say, is like whenever the team's back at their base, is there just a door that keeps rattling and slamming all the time?
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. So a physically bound demon that she's just skimming powers off of.
So maybe then the demon can only take like a real form inside of the Mist house, the Misty Manor.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of it, it's just more like a voice or like very inconsequential outside.
Yeah. What if it's like locked in the basement of the manor, but also it has since this place is a place of Miss Mist's making kind of deal, it can also tap into the powers. And so there's this house on a hill or whatever, and out down below the hill there's a bunch of mist, but you can hear creatures out there.
Oh.
That's the demon trying to get in, and there's kind of wards and whatever up around the place.
So if you go outside, it can be really dangerous.
Yeah, if you go outside of like the immediate areas.
That's pretty cool.
So it both has physical and magic powers in there.
Yeah.
But not directly.
I like that. So which name do you want to go with, or do you want to go with a couple?
Just Histherphon, a.k.a. Morkas, a.k.a. Orzud, a.k.a. Quitagaska.
The dwarves call me.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a demon, it maybe has many names.
Yeah. The elves know me as T-Man Hoobastank.
The true name is CWITTWDACSCCSE. But that's only as far as a human ear can process and transcribe it.
Well, that's only as many letters of the name you can write in this dimension.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those hyphens and things are, temporal spelling.
Yeah, these letters actually have 5 dimensions to them, but you can only see the 2, really. We have 3 dimensions, but you can't really write a letter in 3 dimensions most of the time.
Right.
And if you do, it's kind of extrapolating. There's not a 3-dimensional version of a letter. You're imagining what a 3-dimensional version of the letter would look like.
Right.
The actual 3-dimensional version of a D, there's a bunch of crazy stuff happening on the backside of that tall bit that you aren't privy to. So the name is kind of like that.
I like it.
Just call it the demon in the basement.
Yeah.
The D and the B. Another member, which is no longer on the team. They've gone missing with Miss Mist. Is that what it was?
Oh, I thought they were still around.
Who was it that disappeared when Miss Mist disappeared? Because they were in the Mist dimension.
Oh, right.
I think it was Werewolf.
That might have been Werewolf. Maybe that's the thing, because they couldn't find him. They couldn't find her to find him.
Because they're usually the... I thought Werewolf was a woman also.
Oh. See, this is why I need to update the spreadsheet.
But I could be mistaken on that. Might have never been specified. That's what it was in my head.
Hey, I think that works.
I think at one point we joked about them going on a date with Sid Slaughter, but that doesn't necessarily specify gender.
But no, I think that sounds good. Who do we want their special bad guy to be?
Sid Slaughter. No. Is there a play we can do with some word that starts with AG, which is the symbol for silver on the periodic table?
I'm thinking like agility, agile.
I was thinking like Agnes and Agthar.
What about instead of the artful dodger, it's like the agile tackler or something like that? What about something like Howcat or Wybird?
I see. What about a giraffe?
Just a giraffe.
But it's like Agaraff.
Oh.
So it's a silver giraffe.
What would happen if you had a centaur that was a giraffe for the body? Would the human part be out of the top of the head?
It would be a long, fleshy neck.
Oh.
Or maybe a long, very long torso bit.
See, I was thinking torso, but that would just be as ugly. Just like this little person at the top of a really long torso. I'm going to look that up.
Oof.
Oh, yep, somebody did it. Oh, it's uncomfortable to look at.
And you can see that picture in the Discord.
Well, some of them are pretty good. There's some magic cards that look all right.
I like the ones that are like giraffe body and then they are kind of too high up to do anything on the ground. There's a lot of this in here.
It seems like at that height, if you leaned over, you would just fall over.
That's what I was picturing the first time.
Okay, a long neck with the human torso at the bottom. That seems better. So what do you think about that?
And also silver?
Yeah.
A giraffe.
A giraffe. Agarath.
Agnes, a giraffe. Are they just also made of silver or really into silver? Because are they genetically modified basically in 2 different directions?
Maybe they have silver weapons?
What if they kind of Colossus style can turn to silver?
Oh, okay.
But maybe in addition to Colossus style, they lose, or separate from Colossus, they kind of lose flexibility of whatever they turn to silver. So what I'm picturing is they run and then they barrel down that long neck forward, turn that to silver. It's a battering ram.
Oh, okay. They have those little horns on top. They use those as little clubs.
They whip their hair in a certain fashion, turn it to silver. It's kind of knives.
Hair knives.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah. They come out and attack and run off, and Spell Squadron's like, we're going to help you. And they're like, no, I need to track them myself. Balto Tracker.
Okay.
This is one giraffe. A giraffe I need to deal with.
This is also my weakness. Okay. Then we had a few, ancillary. Am I using that word right?
Auxiliary?
Yeah, they are auxiliary characters. We had a few auxiliary characters that I put on the list, but we may or may not have to create villains for them. One of them is Kids Laughter.
They were Kid Slaughter, the sidekick to the original villain for Spell Squadron. What was their name?
What?
What was the original Slaughter character? Sid Slaughter.
Sid Slaughter.
Yeah, so Kid Slaughter was their sidekick. So we talked about they become like a kids party person, right? Entertainer?
Yeah.
What if their villain was a balloon animal?
That's gained sentience or sapience.
Yeah.
Even.
Or it's like an evil clown that makes balloon animals that are evil.
Yeah. Which one's better? Because I like them being kind of outside of, like, they're outside of the life. And they're not, they just kind of occasionally come back and fight.
Yeah. So I like the idea that the balloon animals just start wrecking parties that he's at, or that they're at, and they have to save everybody from the evil balloon animals.
Yeah. But they could just pop them.
Yeah.
No, but that seems good.
I just don't know if it's better to have like a clown that makes them, or if it's just a pack of evil balloon animals.
Like, part of my first thought on it was they make one, but they filled it with helium before, and it just went up into the air, and then some process happened to it.
It got into an experiment that went wrong, or...
Yeah.
I mean, that's really good.
At first, it's just coming through and stealing more balloon animals that Kids Laughter makes, and then putting them through the process, too. It's making itself friends.
And then just over time, they amass.
You can hear they're, like, squeaking. They're coming.
Somebody in Spell Squadron has to really be against the sound balloons make when you touch them.
Yeah.
They're just like, ugh.
It's not hard to find.
How about Evil-loon? Is that too on the nose?
Blue knee. Do they have a name? They decided their own name.
Yeah. It's the sound that balloons make when they squeak together.
Is that how they converse?
Yeah. So you see like a huge pile of them, and they're just all like...
And someone's trying to sneak up on them. Then they all stop squeaking and turn.
Real slowly with their balloon eyes. I guess more like balloon light spots.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So then we had Dandelion and Tiger Lily.
Yeah, and I don't even know if they would have... Their villain is Fairy King, maybe?
Yeah.
I was unsure to put them on the list because they're not actually like heroes. They're forces on the side of good, occasionally evil.
Yeah, because they're more like just wild beasts that are sort of sentient.
They're sentient and sapient. Sentient just means thinking.
No, right.
Sapient means like having wisdom.
Okay.
So dogs are sentient and cats are sentient. And all of our animals are sentient. So when we're looking for alien life, we're actually looking for sapient life. I mean, sentient life would be a big find also.
Right.
But most people replace sapient with sentient thinking. They actually mean sapient most of the time. I just learned the difference recently. That's why I have to impart it.
I guess that's why they call them sapiens.
Oh, yeah.
So then we move on to episode 13, the Infinity Cafe, or Infinity...
Yeah, it's not a title
Stories.
after your episode.
Aegis Infinity Stories.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's just how I remember it. Yeah, so first up we had Flight Knight.
Yeah, I had a conglomeration of flying characters all showing up. They're not very fleshed out besides the name, but Flight Knight is a flying knight.
He should fight Blight Knight.
Oh.
Just a bad night.
Sounds
Makes
good.
people sick.
I mean, I feel like we should put as much into these villains that I put into the heroes here. King Art, I didn't put a whole lot of thought into.
So he does art?
My thought was maybe they're an artist that can draw powers.
Oh.
And one of those they draw wings and can fly.
So is it just like scribbles out behind them to fly?
Yeah.
What if they fought the racer? He just erases those powers.
But they're a Formula One driver. They're like the Eleanor, the racer. And I don't know, they drive fast and want to erase him.
Works for me.
Next up we had Super Bear, which is a bear that can fly. Maybe they've also got super bear strength, but bears are already pretty strong, so I don't know if they exactly need it.
Bears are already strong. Some are like almost bulletproof.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of superhero powers bears already have.
Yeah. So maybe it's just a talking flying bear, but maybe they don't talk. I don't know.
They're just really quiet. I know we've got some hunters and zookeepers out here.
Yeah.
But maybe something like the lumberjack character?
Okay. I was thinking maybe like a super evil mouse.
Oh.
The mouse has got like bear level strength.
Oh.
The mouse can't fly, but they're evil and have super strength, and they're real small.
Could they have slightly faster speed?
With the strength of a bear,
That's true.
they could be flying across the ground, just launching themselves forward. They can't fly, but they sure can look like they're flying if they jump. Like bear level strength blasting off with the weight of a mouse. Like imagine how hard a bear could throw a mouse. And that's what you got there.
So what about Doom Mouse?
I think that's
a rapper or a hip hop beats mixer.
MF Doom and Danger Mouse collabed for an album called Danger Doom. That's not quite the same. But they could have easily been Doom Mouse.
Doom Mouse separated.
Danger Doom, Mouse in the Mask. I remember this, listening to this, because they were Adult Swim related, and this is when I was big into Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a song called ATHF, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, on this album. So Doom Mouse isn't directly stealing from them.
Okay. Have a good setup where another supervillain's giving them a pep talk. Like, are you Do Mouse or Don't Mouse?
All right, we got Southwest Sentinel. Oh,
what do they do?
The Sentinels, a team I've only alluded to.
There's several other Cardinal Directions-based Sentinels.
Should be a direction-based thing.
I feel like it'd be good either if we really leaned into the direction.
Okay, I've got a name.
Okay.
Midwest Malefactor.
Oh, I like that. So that brings us to the Silver Streak.
There's very little to go on this one. It's basically just a name. They can fly. They have silver costume. I don't know.
So that just made me think there's some reactions in chemistry that react really badly with silver. And it looks like nitric acid makes silver soluble. It's nitric. Is that anything good?
Latin for, also known as aqua fortis. Latin for strong water. They could just be strong water.
That sounds good.
I guess it could be the aqua fortis.
Strong water's pretty good.
I'm just imagining aqua fortis just makes me think of like Aquafort, and it's just a castle made of water. I feel like I've done this a lot, but like a being made of water that it forms itself into a castle and is all the denizens of the castle.
What if like their suit makes it look like they're made out of a castle of water? Like their helmet looks like a castle tower.
Yeah, that seems pretty cool. Oh, what if it's like to go to the League of Elemental Animal episodes? What if there's a part of Water Spider? Is that what their name is?
Yeah.
Water Spider is the ocean. Mm-hmm. What if a part of Water Spider, like his evil intentions or something, all congealed together and separated from itself and rebelled from the ocean? And while they were coming up, they encountered a sandcastle, and that sandcastle became their armor. Oh. So it's just evil bit of ocean that has sandcastle armor.
They still have like the plastic shovel stuck in their side. Yeah. Like a bucket.
Yeah. I don't know how the sandcastle doesn't get destroyed every time. It's like, I assume this creature this being, whatever it is, can go into any shape or whatever, and sometimes leaves the armor behind. I don't know how the armor stands up on its own, but every time they show back up, it's sandcastle again.
Well, maybe it's like fire-based heroes try to attack them, and the sand like acts as a barrier for them.
Yeah, perhaps if they got attacked by fire-based heroes first, it kind of solidified it. And part of the water is inside of it or something, so it's a piece of them. I don't know. Strong water.
/ Aqua Fortis? Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Oh, cool.
Ready to move on to Cyberwolf?
Yeah, Cyberwolf. A member of Aegis at the time of this story took place.
And they're a robotic werewolf?
Yeah, cyborg werewolf. Or cyborg wolf. I guess they're not a werewolf. They don't change back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
And I've kind of like flipped back and forth whether they're, a genetically modified wolf made into a cyborg, or a person experimented on and then made into a cyborg. But there's some process there. And now they're super smart and bipedal, whatever they were before.
What if they have like a rival computer hacker person?
Cyberware.
They're cybernetic clothing.
I just meant W-A-R-E.
Yeah, like Shadowrun.
Or it could be W-E-R-E. Cyberware.
Cyber W-H-E-R-E.
But like a werewolf, a were-cyber.
Oh, where-cyber.
I don't know what they change into. They change into code or something.
Yeah, they could be pure code.
Well, on the full moon, they digitize into code and cause a rampage.
Oh. They go through networks, biting them and making them into also thralls for his cyber evil.
Yeah. So in the daytime, they are a normal hacker, possibly evil. Or not daytime. Most of the time, they are just a hacker doing hacker things. Then occasionally they go on a rampage as pure code.
Though, I guess it wouldn't be connected to the moon, though.
No, it could be connected to it. Could be for whatever reason, but it doesn't have to be.
I was just saying it'd be funny if it was tied to like there were the Y2K bugs that were a weird time glitch with the way clocks on computers work. It'd be kind of funny if there was something like that, to where at least people are like very sure when it's going to happen. I just can't think of a glitch like that off my top of my head, though.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be for a minute every day whenever the clock switches from one day to the next. But that's a time zone thing also.
Yeah.
But I do like them trying to track down this hacker, and then they get there and it's just some clothes and a chair. It's just, but where did they go? I think I like Cyberware a little better. It doesn't actually fit the werewolf, but there's that play on like hardware, software, cyberware, but also Cyberwolf versus Cyberware.
Yeah.
Or the opposite. And that's where we have to end this week. Join us next week for more villains. Here's our outro.
Yeah. Email us questions, comments, things we forgot, little bits to doubleissueshow@gmail.com. So you can follow me, Daniel, at Guare on Twitter.
And I'm at Quentin Pongratz on Twitter.
We got website, doubleissue.show. We got Twitter, Double Issue Show. Facebook, WordPress, Discord, Instagram. Come join us online.
You want to see 8 minutes of the sketch show? I'm sorry, 9 minutes of the sketch show. Kelsey Grammer. Go check our Discord. We got the clip.
Also, return of Dimension. That clip's in there.
We got art. The thumbnail art is by Lisa Prather. You can find her on Instagram at Lisa Prather or online in general at lisapratherart.com. Did I say her Instagram was Lisa Prather? It's Lisa Prather Art.
Our theme song is the Freeharmonics by Freeharmonic Orchestra, used and shortened under a Creative Commons license.
Yeah, find it and other songs by Freeharmonic Orchestra on freemusicarchive.org. Next week is maybe more villains, but if this is the final villains episode, we'll be at you with everyone's turned into drinks. And then we'll see where we go from there.
Let's say at some point we'll do Citadel.
Oh, yeah.
Worldbuild 2.
Yeah.
Part
we
2.
just have to have more coordination on that one. The end. Forever.
And we all lived happily ever
Bye.
after. Out.
Woo. It really does sound like a large... You just have piles and piles of CD jewel cases around. And a cat is just... Here I go. It's just a bunch of CDs crashing to the ground all around your house.
That is just my house. As we walk through the house, we had to push around piles of CD cases. And then they crash all the time, so we had to repile them up. Now it's like Mikey and Littlefoot are on either side of a box, and they're chasing each other around in the packing material. It's a pretty good show.